In Your Business with TikTok.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of In Your Business with TikTok. Yes, this is the In Your Business with TikTok podcast. I want to welcome you all back to my podcast, and if this is your first time here, allow me to let y'all know that we do not have guests today on the pink couch, but we do have the Tin Man and TikTok. Okay, so I want to let you guys know a little bit about myself in case this is your first time over here. I am a very viral creator on TikTok, and I go by TikTok, just like right here on In Your Business with TikTok. I have over 1.3 million followers on TikTok, as well as I am the creator of one of the biggest viral trends that has ever hit TikTok, Bestie. Hey, Bestie, Bestie. If you hear anybody saying Bestie, I am the person that popularized that Bestie and Bestie Vibes Only. That would be me. I'm the creator of Bestie Vibes Only. So if you ever hear anybody saying Bestie Vibes Only, or you hashtag Bestie Vibes Only, that's your girl right here. But enough about me. I want y'all to make sure y'all are definitely tuning in to all these podcasts. We are going everywhere that we can possibly go. We are even touching topics that people don't even want to discuss. And today on the show happens to be one of those days. So if you just tuned in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you never miss a podcast. But let's get right on into the show. I'm still trying to be happy, but this topic is very, 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 I'm going to give y'all now, it's a trigger warning. This topic can be a trigger warning. I know y'all saw the thumbnail, but we got to talk about this, y'all. It has to be discussed. Okay, y'all. This topic is very, very, very heartbreaking. No mother, no brother, no sister, no sibling, no grandmother, no one should ever have to witness anything like this. When I ran across this story, it literally broke my heart. When I say broke my heart, it broke my heart. But without any further ado, you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. An Oklahoma mother, walked in on her boyfriend doing the big R to her 12-year-old daughter. Yes, you know what the big R is. We don't have to say the word. It's a word that makes my stomach cringe. Although I've never been a victim of anything like this, I can only imagine. And I first want to send prayers out to the mother and the daughter that had to witness and experience this very, very horrific act. Okay, so let's start there. I want to take y'all over to Oklahoma. A mother walked in, like I just said, on her HIV positive husband. I did say boyfriend earlier, but I forgot. They did get married. This was her husband. Okay? When she walks in, she found him doing the letter R to her daughter. But let me just back up and tell y'all how this all started. The mother picked the husband up from a bar because he had gotten into a fight over at the bar. And she went, picked him up, drove him back to Oklahoma. At home, they both, made it back home safely. The daughter was sleeping. The mother then went to sleep. But guess who stayed awake? The husband stayed awake. You guys, when I tell you this is extremely disturbing, this is a topic that I know is very, very hard for people to talk about, think about, even like you don't even want to imagine yourself in that spot. But a 12-year-old, come on, you guys, a 12-year-old that had to witness this. Okay. So what I want to let y'all know is that the stepfather is Donovan Scott Shepherd. Donovan Scott Shepherd. He is 39 years old. Donovan Scott Shepherd, you deserve to rot underneath. Let me relax. Donovan Scott Shepherd of Oklahoma, 39 years old. you are accused of the letter R with your stepdaughter, who is only 12 years old. 12. But guess what, you guys? He started doing the letter R when she was only 11. You took this baby's innocence. You robbed her mother of the innocence that her and her daughter share together. You know, no mother should ever have to go through life thinking, knowing that they weren't there to protect their own innocent child. Can you imagine not being able to protect your child, and then your child has to deal with this for the rest of their life? Can you even imagine it? Donovan Scott Shepherd, 39 years old, stole an 11-year-old girl's innocence right in the same home where her mother was sleeping and her daughter was peacefully sleeping. You went to the bar, you got drunk, you came home, and instead of doing this with your wife, you did this with the 12-year-old. Not to mention, you have HIV, known HIV. Not, oh, they did an HIV test and it came back positive. No, he knows he has HIV. And he took this baby's innocence. Can you imagine walking in on your husband, who you are supposed to love, who is supposed to love you back, who is supposed to love your children, because you're already trusted in the household with children that are not yours, okay? And you do the unthinkable. Prayers again going up for the 12-year-old baby that had to witness this, experience this, live with this for the rest of her life. I'm praying that she can do a full recovery and she can have a successful, peaceful life. We're finna get all the way in. Okay, guys, so the mother awakes from her sleep. She notices that Donovan is not in the bed, sleep with her. So I'm sure a mother's first instinct is going to be to check on their child. That is what she did. She walked in the room and she caught Donovan doing the letter R with her 12-year-old child. The most horrific scene that you would ever want to even put in your mind, your spirit, your heart. Like, I can't even though I listened to this story over and over before I decided to even cover it, and I said it needs to be talked about, because oftentimes we don't talk about things until the unthinkable happens. So that is why I'm here. When the mother walked into the room and saw that, I'm not sure if she went in with the gun in her hand already, but she held him at gunpoint. Yes, as she should, until the cops arrived. She dialed 911. She kept it aimed right at Donovan, and she dared him to move. She dared him to move. Same thing that I'm sure any other parent would have done, if not worse. If not worse. Because we do have to think about, had she gone all the way with it, then she would also be leaving her daughter on the outside while she's over on the inside paying for what she did to Donovan. If she could not fight that in self-defense. I don't know. I can't say. Y'all comment down below what y'all think, the mother did right and what she did wrong. Because in my eyesight, I don't think she did anything wrong. I think she did what any other natural parent would do. And she did a great job at it. Pats on the back, Mom. Pat on the back to you. I know, you don't need a pat on the back right now. I think more so you need prayer, and, you just want peace from the whole situation. Unfortunately, I'm sure peace is not coming anytime soon because of the nature of this horrendous R that your baby had to endure. Okay, once the police arrived, Donovan and the wife immediately told the officers that Donovan was HIV positive. Of course, they did all the things that they needed to do, took the little girl down to the hospital where she did need medical treatment more than just going down to the hospital. So she had to do some, extensive things, because imagine a 39-year-old man taking your innocence. And yeah, without going into full detail, you can use your imagination or your knowledgeable mind set to know what all could have possibly taken place. Okay, so with that being said, I just want to say that I am at a loss for words when it comes down to the fact of the man had HIV. I have a few questions though with the mother, like, did he contract the HIV while you guys were together? Did he come into the relationship with HIV? I need to understand that. Like, I need those gaps filled in. Comment down below if you also feel like you need to know that. I know it has no... It won't lighten what has happened. Let me just say that. It will not lighten what happened here. What took place on this day? What took place at this minute? Where was Donovan's mind at? We already know he had been drinking at the bar, so that was strike one, and he had a fight at the bar. That was strike one. So we already know he was on the wrong type of time when he arrived at the house. But no mother can ever think in their heart of hearts that this is going to take place today, right here, right now, this minute, second, hour, and on my child. Okay? After the little girl was examined at the hospital, the police interviewed her to find out she had been being AR'd by Donovan, her mother's husband, her stepfather, who is supposed to step in and assume the role of a real father to a certain degree. AR'd her when she was 11 years old. 11 years old. At 11, I was still playing with baby dolls. At 11, I was even still taking my baby dolls in the store in a shopping cart. Can't even imagine it. Okay? Now they have to run the risk of, does the little girl have HIV? Did he pass it on to her? Things of that nature. We also need to know that in today's world, unfortunately, this does happen. This definitely does happen. And something I forgot to mention early on, Donovan is a coach of a boys' youth team, sports team. He's a coach of a youth sports team. Did he sign on to be a coach with ill intentions? Did he sign on to be a coach so he could be around children and pleasure himself? What really is this about? In this case, they are hoping that the children's hospital doctor can present all the forensics that took place in this case and bring justice, the right justice, to this family. This family deserves justice. Right now, Donovan is being held on a $500K bond. Okay, y'all. So I want to talk to y'all a little bit about these charges. We already know that Donovan has a $500K bond. Okay, y'all, so in closing, I want to let y'all know what these charges are. We already know that Donovan has $500K bond. He has 4 counts of R. He has 2 counts of lewd molestation. He also has a count of exposing others to HIV, which to me is like the most alarming count that I've ever heard with my own 2 ears. Exposing others to HIV is like a count that we can't even fathom it. That's just the bottom line to it all, and especially to a 12-year-old. But a mother having to walk in and witness something like this. She's very heroic for not breaking down at such a very, very, very alarming moment in life. She stood her ground. She did what she had to do. She made sure she held this man accountable for what he did to her daughter, held him at G-point until the officers arrived. I know I said it a million times, the G word, but I don't even feel like saying it anymore. But at any rate, she did what she could do to protect her daughter. I want you guys to understand one thing. It is very important to talk to your children at very young ages so that, this happened 6 times, if I failed to mention that. He did this to her on 6 different occasions. Never did the little girl tell her mother. We don't know, how Donovan groomed the daughter, what he told her that would make her afraid, or, what her mother and her relationship was. We don't know all the back scenes stories to it all. But what I can say is talk to your children. There are things going on in the world where I'm sorry, the things that we probably would have never wanted to discuss with our children, we sadly have to discuss that with our children. Give them a safe place within your heart so that they know it is okay on the first time to come and talk to mom about it. Because what if mom would have never walked into the room? This would still be going on and on and on until the poor little child just couldn't take it anymore, okay? Again, this started happening at age 11. You guys drop down in the comments, start topics, discussions, ways that other parents can ensure that their children feel safe to talk to someone, even if it's not a parent. If they honestly don't feel they could talk to the parent, maybe a teacher, somebody, whoever they will want to talk to. Feel comfortable talking to. Y'all drop in the comments some suggestions on how to introduce this to children so that they're made aware and they're understanding of how this went down. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. If you have any comments, drop them below. Anything that you want me to discuss or do a podcast on, drop that below as well. And thank y'all for tuning in to In Your Business with TikTok.